Charlie, Charlie, Kirky. I spot the Berkey. Charlie, Charlie, Kirky. I just Charlie, Charlie, Kirky.
Bitter Oblivion 0 and is the winner feat.
Oh, you almost had it. You better be quicker than that.
Hobby husband is too slow.
Oh, you almost had it. You better be quicker than that.
Bitter Oblivion 0 and is too slow.
don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Do you understand that? Turn the friggin' frogs gay. Serious crap. Gay. Frogs, friggin' frogs. It's not funny. I'm gonna say it real slow for you. Gay. Frogs. Won't you fight for your life? Gay. Frogs, friggin' frogs. I don't like a frogs. Gay. Friggin' frogs. Quack, 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 quack. Frogs. Friggin' frog crap. Won't you fight the frogs? It's not funny. I'm gonna say it real slow for you.
Frogs. Hi, everybody.
Place points.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Charlie, and I hit the hype button way too many times. Congratulations for Bitter for getting first and third. Congratulations to Hobby for being too late, for coming too late.
Look at this guy.
Your underscore pal underscore.
Wait,
Blue
let me say
69
hi,
wants to know
everybody.
what you're wearing.
Hi, Blue. Who did I get? Everybody? Butter, Blue, and Hobby. Okay, I think I got everyone. Hi. They turned the friggin' frogs. They did. They did. Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the first day of Pride. I'm so excited. I have a lot of gay clothes. I've been saving things. You know, every year they're like, oh, Target has such shitty Pride stuff. And I'm like, yeah, but if
there's a boomer around here.
Hi, Chris. If, like, you buy enough of the tiny pieces that look kind of okay and you pair it well with stuff later. But hold on, wait. The bandana is pansexual, too. My shoelaces always have asexual on them. But I have another pair of pansexual shoelaces. I was just not redoing my shoelaces for today. Yeah. I did forget my pansexual slap bracelet. Little disappointed in that. Also couldn't find my yellow eyeshadow. So normally what I would do would be pink or blue on the outside and then yellow on the inside. But because I can't find my yellow, I was like, all right, I'll just do pink and blue. This is fine. They'll know. They'll get it. They'll understand. But hi, everybody. Where's my water? It's so warm in here compared to outside. Anyway, today's June 1st. It's Monday. Of course, we're gay on a Monday. I have even more rainbow stuff to wear. I probably for like a week. I think I have a week's worth of queer shit. Hi, Maddie. What a wonderful time to come in. Oh, school. Don't care about June. Anyway, all right, what did I do since I've last seen you guys? I've played a lot of Wingspan. I have played a lot of Wingspan. I've even, like, I play a lot against the computer. I went to medium mode this time. I'm mostly trying to get the achievements now. So I'm like, I might as well. Like, I'm almost halfway there. I got one today that was like, instead of spending food, you got to, like, put down a card and sacrifice birds to cast that card. The casting ability was to murder other birds. New Warhammer trailer? Send it over. Send it over. Unless it's in the Discord. But anyway, what did I do yesterday? Wingspan. Watched some Luxaria last night. Caught up on her. I forget what I was doing. And then today I mostly laid around. I did a lot of laying around. A lot of eating and a lot of laying around. Links already? There. Okay. Thank you. Sorry, I have the friggin' frog song stuck in. All right, we'll watch the Warhammer trailer and then we'll get stuff. Yes, visit the site. No. Go? Okay, good. Are we sure this is new? Everything's breaking. Everything is not really working all that great. The gay frogs are gonna be stuck in my head.
It is the 41st millennium. For more than 100
Let's close out all these other tabs, shall we? That'll probably help. Posted yesterday.
centuries,
I see that.
the Emperor has sat immobile on the golden throne of Earth.
Oh, are these like the psychers that are getting sacrificed?
He is the master of mankind in the war between gods. And master of 1,000,000 worlds by the might of his inexhaustible armies. He is the carrion lord of the Imperium, for whom 1,000 souls are sacrificed every day, so
Yeah.
his may continue to burn. He is a rotting carcass, writhing with power, sustained by forbidden marvels from the dark age of technology. To be alive in such times is to be one amongst untold billions. It is to live in the cruelest and most bloody regime imaginable. These are the tales of those times.
So does this mean orcs are going to be better? Are they fixing orcs? Are there first-person shooters of Warhammer? I don't know about first-person shooter, but you can play just the tabletop game. If you ever come down, we'll teach you.
Forget the power of technology and science. For so much has been forgotten, never to be relearned.
Orcs are the main bad guys. There's Darktide.
Forget the promise of progress and understanding. For in the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war. No peace amongst the stars. Only an eternity of carnage and slaughter. And the laughter of thirsting gods. But the universe is a big place, and whatever happens, you will not be missed.
Oh man. I can't wait for the Westhammer breakdown of that. Or like the Luton 9. Or the Pancreas No Works. God, there's so many cool things. Alright, hold on. There is only Wog. Wog. Like, where's Caiaphas Cain? Where's my favorite space daddy? Also, the Tau are so like chill. Like they cut from like this one really chill, peaceful scene to all this other horrific shit. We actually got to see the Emperor for the first time in decades. Really, I thought that's how like he's been drawn. Like this I know is when they bring like tens of thousands of psychers to the Golden Throne to sacrifice them in order to keep the webway open.
It is the 41st millennium. For more than 100 centuries, the Emperor has sat immobile on the Golden Throne of Earth.
Eldar get 5 seconds of screen time to remember everything exists. Yeah, exactly. It's it's because they're so chill. They're like, yeah, you know, we could just be socialism. You just gotta not have anything that like makes you different.
Is the master of mankind in the war between gods.
Then we see him again. Over yonder. This was like the warp. Well, okay, that's not the warp, but
Slaughter.
this is the warp.
And the laughter.
There's Chisneech. Chisneech?
Thirsty.
Nurgle. Corn? Is that the red one? I haven't seen Slanesh.
Gods.
Who is that? Did I mean to do a Warhammer breakdown? No. Will I? Probably.
Slaughter.
Corn is the red one? That's what I thought. Blood for the blood god.
And the love.
Right here. That's Slanesh. I recognize those bedroom eyes anywhere. Yeah, that's her. Okay. 100%. Cool. Like, I know they're probably in here. See? Pride. They're all shown for brief snippets. Yeah. I was trying to see what they used for each of them.
Thirsting. Gods. But the universe is a big place, and whatever happens, you will not be missed.
He looking rough, buddy. He kind of looks like, your house. Corn is the best one. I'm not biased as a World Eater fan. I think I'm torn between Slanesh and just. Oh man. Shoot. All right, cool. That was good. Awesome. Oh, right. So I was at the zoo with my kids the other day for field trip, and a bunch of the kids were making owl sounds, trying to get the owl's attention. And of course, like the teachers got them to stop, but then they started doing it again. And then we saw some seagulls in the bear exhibit, and I immediately started trying to make seagull noises and immediately went, wait, don't focal stim this right now. All these kids are just gonna start cawing for the rest of the zoo. So kind of wanted to cover Harvey Milk today, but it's gonna make me sad, and I'd rather not. So instead, let's catch up on this mini Bricks Fig stuff. How does that sound, guys? Happy Pride!
The $200,000 Lego scandal, it
Oh my
just
God.
got so much worse.
Stop,
Hassan
Phil.
Piker just
Wait.
got banned from traveling to the
Stop.
UK.
No. You're so loud. I'm also so far behind on news. Like last night, Hobby and I were sitting down. I was having him find something to watch while I like gathered like my things. And he was like, "Did Hassan get refused by the UK?" And I was like, "No, I think that's a meme." Like he was joking about it in stream, talking about how they, like wouldn't it be so funny if they arrested him instead of deporting him, um, rather than just like revoking his visa. Yo, I watched so much on this. I watched all the Reckless Ben vids on it. I'm so far behind on the news. Well, we're gonna catch up a little bit. I would love more information, Blue. But yeah, so I was just like, oh no, he's memeing. And then everyone else was like, guys, he really did get his visa revoked. Like, that's so fucked up. That is so fucked up. And if anything, it's gonna bring more attention to the UK's like freedom of speech laws.
UK over Hamas and Israel comments, but Spencer Pratt's exposing about LA, and Graham Plattner's sexting controversy has the internet divided. We're talking about all that and even more on today's
You're telling me a guy who looks like that sex people? Oh no.
brand new Philip DeFranco show. You
What happened with
barely
Graham
dive
Plattner?
into the news, so buckle up, hit that like button, and let's just jump into it.
It's so fucked. It is. It is absolutely ridiculous. The police department made a statement about the situation where they lied excessively. I saw that Penguin Zero posted that earlier.
Starting with this. United Kingdom just brought down the ban hammer on two of America's most prominent, controversial, progressive pundits, Hassan Piker and his uncle, Cenk Uygur. Right? They were both scheduled
I can't believe they took him out like from the same family. Like that's got to be some form of discrimination, like provable.
to speak at the Oxford Union and the South by Southwest Festival in London this week, but then the UK's Home Office was like, nope, saying their entry would, quote, not be conducive.
And all the Reckless Ben videos have all the evidence. It's a crazy situation. It's wild that now that like the only submissible evidence that hasn't been destroyed is saved in a YouTuber video. You know, as someone who loves history, you have to appreciate some of the ways that history gets saved. Like, what a cool way.
To the public good, and so their permission to travel there has been revoked, though they can still apply for a visa. And at least, according to the government, decisions like this are based solely on an assessment of the potential risk an individual may pose to UK society. And actually, since April, other figures have been refused entry on the same grounds, including Kanye West and 11 far-right activists. But when it comes to Hassan and Cenk,
Wait, was Charlie Kirk, he also wasn't allowed to go to the UK. Was it Charlie Kirk or somebody else? Nick Fuentes? Like, Reckless Ben and his friends got swatted while they were in Utah? I did hear that.
specifically, while the Home Office didn't give a specific reason for their ban, you got these two saying it's Israel, or with Hassan pointing to reports that a member of parliament and a Jewish charity have been pushing for him to get banned over some of his past comments. Or probably most notably what's been reported as his lesser evil arguments that Hamas is a, quote, 1,000 times better than Israel, and that he would, quote, vote for Hamas over Israel every single time. With the Labor MP David Taylor arguing, it's shocking that South by Southwest would invite someone who has openly supported a prescribed terrorist organization and spouted these kinds of vile anti-Semitic rants to speak at their festival. And adding, with the unacceptable rise in anti-Semitism on our streets, leaving British Jews in a constant state of anxiety, Hassan Piker is clearly not.
I'm sorry. This sounds just like every fucking American politician that's like this. If I close my eyes and I pretend there's no British accent, all I hear is Cory Booker. That's all I hear. Oh, like
Conducive to the public good. And so then with all this, you had Hassan reacting to the news on his stream.
Dear Hassan Dawn Piker, your UK ETA has been cancelled. This means you cannot travel to the UK without a visa. This is because your presence in the UK is not considered to be conducive to the public good. You cannot appeal this decision. This is straight up fascism. Israel is a fascist country, and it gets to enforce its bidding upon other.
who is the fucking superpower here? God, isn't the UK bigger than Israel? Bunch of bitches in government. A bunch of fucking bitches who are just like too fucking caught by the balls. Ugh.
Other countries. I can't believe it. I cannot believe how much motion Israel has over other countries. Like
Cory
what
Booker in the background.
Like all the stuff I said prior, the things that they're like complaining about were things that I had said already, and they didn't have any issues with my travel into the UK. If you're an avowed anti-Zionist, your travel will be restricted. It's totally ridiculous, dude.
Piker also arguing that anti-Zionism and anti-Semitism are not the same thing, and he's actually explicitly condemned the latter, even doing so during his previous speech at the Oxford Union last year.
Anti-Semitism is a canary in the coal mine of fascism. It's one of the oldest bigotries that has caused those of the Jewish faith a tremendous amount of pain. From pogroms to the Holocaust, Jews have always been singled out by those in power as a scapegoat for instability and economic volatility people in power cause.
Now, as for other reactions to this, you had many on Hassan's side of the spectrum calling out the UK's Labour government, but the response from South by Southwest was much more muted, where with it saying decisions on entry to the UK are a matter for the Home Office and the individuals concerned, saying London's role is to convene a broad range of diverse voices and perspectives. We remain focused on delivering a program this week, fostering open dialogue and exchange of ideas, and featuring more than 800
was South by Southwest where Kneecap was performing, but the BBC pulled it from the air, and then another gentleman whose name I forget but is really cool started chanting "deaf, deaf" to the IDF. Was that also South by Southwest last year?
speakers, artists, and screenings. And so then in response to that, you had Hassan saying, South by Southwest was a minor part of my trip to the UK. They totally didn't defend me or Cenk at all. They're actual fucking losers, and I will never work with them for the rest of my life. If you bought a ticket expecting to see me, you should demand a refund. And then as far as what got Cenk banned, you had the Times of London reporting that it was for, quote, repeating classic anti-Semitic tropes such as
Top
the claim that
villain,
Israel
yeah.
controls America. But as far as how Cenk reacted, you got this.
Who's in charge here? If you don't think that's a legitimate question, if you think that's like an anti-Semitic question, well, brother, I didn't ban me for disagreeing with Israel. You banned me for disagreeing with Israel, and you're not Israel. This is really Kafkaesque. We're in some sort of alternate Alice in Wonderland place, because apparently if I come into the UK, you guys are all going to go nuts. Like the minute I step off the plane and or off the tube and I'm in the middle of London, the place is going to go haywire, apparently. Threat to the public order. And who else will get banned? I mean, if you're banning people for criticizing Israel, you'll have to ban literally billions of people across the world. Apparently, you're all anti-Semites, and the numbers themselves are anti-Semitic, and the facts are anti-Semitic, and you'll all be banned. I don't know if facts will be banned from the United Kingdom. Maybe that's next.
And then actually the timing here was kind of interesting because you had people pointing to Cenk's co-host Anna Kasparian because she just went on Candace Owens' podcast.
The fact that you were willing to put everything on the line to speak out against the genocide in Gaza made me realize that you are...
Okay, listen. I understand Candace Owens is gorgeous and this is Pride Month. Can we all stop kissing her ass? Please. Everybody is just like ego stroking her on her podcast. And like, I get it, but like, it's like so sickly sweet. I want to vomit. Does that make sense? Like, it's just like, please stop. This isn't a Krispy Kreme. Like, let us move on.
Actually good faith on other political views you have.
Well, this conversation took place before the news about Cenk's travel ban broke. You had people pointing out that they kind of hit on the same theme in relations to Owens.
Suddenly it was, you're an anti-Semite. You deserve to have nothing. You shouldn't even be allowed to travel to Australia.
So Australia banned you after you said that it's a genocide?
Yeah, that was the beginning of I was temporarily banned for ads from YouTube.
And to be clear here, according to reports, Owens wasn't just banned for calling it a genocide.
Isn't she also in a lawsuit with the French Prime Minister's wife?
People have called it a genocide, pointed to the war crimes that are happening. And as far as specifics, you had the Australian High Court citing a slew of unambiguously anti-Semitic comments, such as denying Nazi medical experiments on Jews and calling Judaism a pedophile-centric religion. And that was in addition to other conspiracy theories and comments about Muslims, black people, and queer folk as well. But also, while we're talking about people getting banned from different countries, I want to give an update on someone who isn't banned per se, but apparently exiled himself from the United States to avoid prosecution. Because that whole reckless ban, bricks and minifigs, Lego scandal that we talked about, it's just gotten crazier and crazier. And also, if you missed the coverage last week, and so you're like, what words just came out of your face, Phil? We did a whole thing on this last week. I'm just going to link to it. It's too much to go through again. But the TLDR is you have YouTuber Ben Schneider, aka Reckless Ben, who's kind of known for long-form investigative projects. And Ben's latest investigation focused on a man by the name of Brian Manziel, who he says entered into a consignment agreement with an Oregon branch of a franchise reseller called Bricks and Minifigs for his father's collection of Star Wars Lego sets. And it's not just whatever Legos. It was one of the largest and most valuable in the world with an estimated worth of over $200,000. And under that agreement, agreement, Brian
insane.
retained ownership of the various sets until Bricks and Minifigs sold them, at which point he would receive 65% of the proceeds in monthly payments. But after about a year, Bricks and Minifigs corporate seized the Oregon franchise in an ownership dispute. In the store, it was sold to new owners by the name of Brandon Best and Josh Johnson. And during that time, Brian's remaining unsold Lego sets somehow just
It gets
mysteriously
crazier.
disappeared, and we still actually don't know where they are. Right, in his videos, Reckless Ben claims that some combination of Bricks and Minifigs corporate and the new owners stole the collection. An allegation that corporate has publicly denied, while also claiming that the consignment deal Brian had entered into went against corporate policy. And so you've been launching into a whole bunch of wild and let's call them zany tactics to either get the Legos back or figure out where they are, all of which culminated in Ben trying to personally sue Brandon Best and Josh Johnson in Utah, where they both live. But throughout the process of trying to get in contact with the two men and serve them papers, Ben had a ton of run-ins with the police department in American Fork, Utah. Right, among these, there was a traffic stop Ben says was bogus and his car was erroneous.
The police are super corrupt. Yeah, ACAB. ACAB. Like, if it's not, like, murdering people in the streets, it's taking bribes. Like, it's always something, and it's never anything helpful to us.
Search for heroin, though eventually he gets arrested twice for stalking, criminal trespass, and disorderly conduct, among other charges. And
I have never walked down a street and been like, wow, thank God that cop is there.
the second time around, his entire crew was also arrested, with Ben claiming that the cops and Mormon Church are essentially colluding to protect each other because both Josh and Brandon are Mormons and the police are also part of the Mormon community. And so the whole initial saga, it ends with Ben fleeing to Mexico.
Ben did beat Bricks and Minifigs in a small claims case, and bam, closed down the branch right after.
Because the Utah police have an active warrant for his arrest, and he's been listed as a physical threat to Josh Johnson, though he's also said that police will not tell him what crime he's committed. But also very notably here, I'll add that the American Fork Police Department said in a news release that they aren't currently seeking Benjamin Schneider, and there are no active warrants. So at least right now, it's unclear where the warrant might have come from. But then, last Wednesday, Bricks and Minifigs filed its own civil lawsuit accusing Ben and Brian and others of a coordinated harassment and extortion campaign. Right, and Ben appeared to address the lawsuit in a video where he claimed that he obtained a leaked email that Bricks and Minifigs sent to their franchises, with Ben accusing the company of suing him and his team to try to silence them. And on the note of Bricks and Minifigs corporate, over the weekend, the company's CEO, Amon McNeff, appeared on a Lego podcast where he apologized to Brian for the difficulties his family has had to face and said that he was willing to undergo professional mediation to resolve the situation. But also McNeff maintained his claim that the company's franchises are not authorized to enter into consignment deals. And while Brian doesn't appear to have responded, at least as of recording this video, you had Ben reacting to the interview in a live stream where he argued that the franchise contract explicitly allows consignments, while also hitting back at a number of other claims that McNeff made. But that's also really a whole other can of worms, and both the interview and Ben's stream mostly just reiterated points that have already been made. But that's also not even the most notable update that's happened since.
Wait, did he, like, get somebody to try to franchise out Bricks and Minifigs in order to get one of the contracts to use as evidence?
We covered the whole chaotic situation. First up, you have the American Fork Police Department addressing Ben's video in a media release. And there, you've got Police Chief Cameron Paul saying that on March 8th, Josh Johnson called his department to report that a person he believed was Ben had shown up at his door with a fake UPS hat and delivered a suspicious package which contained rubber ducks, and adding,
Mr. Johnson further explained that civil proceedings were occurring in Oregon and stated that he believed Schneider was sending individuals to his home to harass him.
Josh also allegedly told the police that two women were walking around his property, and when they arrived on the scene, they identified another man who had been filming the house from a nearby car. After that, police pulled over Ben and his team at a traffic stop, and he denied delivering the package. And while you had an officer determining that they had not violated any criminal laws, he informed them that they had trespassed and could not return to Josh's property. But then the next day, you had Josh calling the cops again, claiming a local man who he claimed to be helping Ben had banged on his door, opened the screen door, and looked into his windows in an attempt to make contact. When the police arrived, they followed that man to a car that contained Ben and another member of his team by the name of Tyler Shaw. And they reported that Shaw's eyes appeared glossy, in their words, and so they made it.
Bro looks like the one officer from Killer Clowns from Outer Space. A little bit.
Perform a sobriety test that he passed, and added that a police dog had smelled controlled substances, so they searched the car, but they didn't find anything. With Paul then going on to claim that Ben admitted that he and Shaw had delivered the package of ducks to get Josh to sign it so they could use his signature to forge a document saying that Ben couldn't be trespassed from the property for 5 years. But they also informed the officer that they were just trying to get in contact with Josh because their lawsuit couldn't proceed without an attempt at verbal reconciliation. So the officer warned them that they were approaching conduct that could constitute stalking or harassment. But then a few days later, you had Josh calling the police to say that his wife had seen a woman in a wig standing near the front door taking pictures, and claimed that Ben and his team had approached the house, frightening his wife and children. With police responding immediately after Josh threatened to shoot someone, and actually when they got there, he told the police about the whole Lego situation, and then he made this very serious allegation.
Mr. Johnson alleged that Mansell had hired Benjamin Schneider to harass, stalk, vandalize the store, threaten to murder the manager of the store, and forged signatures.
But then when the cops spoke to Ben, he told them that he was just trying to follow the government's directions for proceeding with the suit and needed to provide Josh with paperwork, but Josh kept calling the cops on him to avoid accountability. Despite Josh's claims that the paperwork was fake, officers were able to verify with the court that it was legitimate, though the court also said that the papers had already been served. With Paul then playing body cam footage that appears to show cops trying to take the paperwork to Josh and then later returning it to Ben, saying that Josh refused to sign and adding,
Based on the totality of the known facts at the time, officers established probable cause that Snyder had committed the offenses of stalking and targeted residential picketing under Utah law. Snyder was subsequently arrested and transported to the Utah County Jail.
But then, 2 days later, Josh called the police for a fourth time to report that Ben and his team were in the area again, placing signs with his photograph and speaking with his neighbors. And when the police determined that Ben wasn't there, they discovered that he was FaceTiming with one of the people, so they established that there was probable cause to arrest him for a third count of stalking. And then after that, you had a local resident informing officers that several YouTubers were staying at an Airbnb that they operated, with Paul adding,
The homeowner also disclosed that he could hear multiple individuals inside the residence speaking about possibly stolen Lego toys they had taken. Based on
So
that information,
specific.
officers added a request within the search warrant affidavit seeking authorization to also search for and seize possible stolen property, including Lego merchandise.
And after a judge signed the warrant, police went to the Airbnb and arrested Ben and multiple members of his team, with Paul also disputing Ben's claim that a cop had dislocated his shoulder during the raid. But very notably here, Paul didn't say whether they found any Legos in the Airbnb. And according to Exerto, a copy of the warrant returned after the raid explicitly stated that, quote, no items seized. With Paul then going on to address the allegations that police were colluding to protect Josh and Brandon, saying that he understands that people may feel like justice hasn't been served in the bricks and minifigs dispute in Oregon, but adding,
Those concerns are understandable. I understand them and I'm empathetic to them. And nothing in the actions taken by the American Fork Police Department should be interpreted as validating, supporting, or defending anyone involved in that separate civil or criminal dispute. Our responsibility in Utah was not to determine who was morally right or wrong in a business disagreement originating in another state. Our responsibility was to respond to conduct reported here in our community, evaluate the facts available.
They got literally the most boring person to read this. I am so zoned out. It's like I'm back in like not geography,
available
geometry
to our
class.
officers at the time, and enforce Utah law as officers established probable cause that a crime had occurred.
And so that's where that video ends. But then in his video that he uploaded this morning, you
It's like warrant explanation ASMR.
had Ben responding to the police.
Stop
And there you got Ben
ASMR.
doubling down on a number of points, including that police dislocated his shoulder, that the traffic stop was legal, and that someone sent a fake tip to the cops that his team had heroin. He also showed footage of a phone call between a police officer and court officials that appear to contradict Paul's claim that Josh had already been served the papers at the time of his second arrest. And then also goes on to dispute the stalking charges brought against him, claiming that his attempts to track Josh down were required by the court, so he was just following the legal process. He also accused the police of swatting his house because they believed that he had the Legos, despite what he says is overwhelming evidence that Josh actually had them, claiming that the officers redacted any mention of the Legos from their reports and the body camera footage of the raid because they said it was necessary to protect Josh, but according to Ben's version of events,
However, we can clearly see that the police are looking for Legos and they saw no Legos. And they redacted this because they were embarrassed that they made such a stupid decision to swat the wrong person. They were so embarrassed of swatting my house for stealing the Legos that in all the police reports, it is completely redacted. The police department wants this information hidden so bad that they're willing to break the law to hide this from everyone.
so as a result, you had Ben demanding that the police unredact the footage, with him repeatedly calling on his viewers to pressure the American Fork Police Department to release it so that everyone can see for themselves what really happened. And then tying the whole thing back together to Paul's revelation that Johnson called them, threatening to shoot someone as a result of the harassment.
Josh was so scared of going to court that he would rather shoot us than accept these court papers. Josh's logic here is that if he can murder the process server and if he can murder me, then he can get away with his crimes because there'll be no one to sue him in court. However, sadly for Josh, murder is illegal. And now he just admitted his plans to the police officers. The American Fork Police should at least be arresting Josh for trying to use murder as a way to get out of court. But sadly, for some reason, they arrested me instead.
Find you back. Am I being arrested? We're under arrest right now. Really?
Something about this seems off, and all of the answers are in the body cam footage. However, they redacted all the body cam footage, So this is where I think if we all come together as a community, we can somehow convince the American Fork Police Department to unredact this footage so we can find out why they arrested me and not the guy who threatened to murder me.
Right, and so this story, which began with recovering stolen
Oh man, so like his video is getting the views, Moist Critical, everybody else who's talking about it. Oh my god. Man, it's like a Streisand effect. When you don't want somebody to find something out, they will.
Legos is now very quickly escalated to accusations of killing someone. And that's as the situation seems like it is far from over. And actually also with that, I want you to keep something in mind because I still want to get to the full news of the day. I'm not giving every single detail here. There's too much content that's being generated around this. And so I want you to essentially treat this like as a highlight reel, even if it is still massive. And I'm going to link to the core videos and content in the description. But with all that
Okay, well, girl, yes. Give me that tea. Give me the tea, daddy.
this $200,000 Lego
Oh,
scandal
no,
is
that's not the
literally
one
one
I
of the
wanted.
craziest things I've
No,
ever
no, no. I'm a hot mess. I was hoping it would just be right here on the page. This guy, oh my god, please. Is that really what he looks like? It looks like if you like drew a face, like a line down the center of his face, it's like flipped, you know? Like when you do that in a video game. No tea, no shade. I was hoping Moist Critical's videos would be out here, like right here on it. Okay. Do we know what the newest... are here?
I think this is now the 4th video in 3 days I have made on this massive Lego scandal, but I can't help it. This is one of the crazier stories I think I've ever covered. All of this started over Legos, and is now at a point where Reckless Bin, the guy who was really investigating it and blew the lid off of this, spilled the beans, has now been targeted more times than Cobra Commander by the local police department out there in Utah that is seemingly working in collaboration with Bricks and Minifigs. Part 2 of Reckless Bin's investigation just dropped, and he and his whole group get arrested. He has been targeted multiple times by the police.
Please tell me he's making ad revenue on this. Please, not Charlie. Reckless Ben, please.
Getting arrested, and there is evidence presented on camera that seems to indicate that the police...
And is this happening in real time? Like, what's the delay on this?
Are knowingly engaging in what I think is pretty clearly some barnacles, not to get into the technical terms there, that's some legalese for you, some barnacles, in order to have him silenced because of what he's talking about. And there are some deep-rooted potential connections between Bricks and Minifigs and this local police department that is now, for some reason, going scorched earth on Ben and his entire team. It is absolutely fucking absurd. Arasaka.
It seems to be happening in real time. That was like the one thing I wasn't sure about. Like, were these videos filmed and edited like a week ago, or is this like only like a day or two ago? Because they're putting together those set pieces lickety split.
From Cyberpunk is a less corrupt, less evil organization than Bricks and Minifigs, it seems. It's unbelievable. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll give you like the briefest rundown before getting into part 2 here, because this is wild. They literally come in guns blazing on Ben and his team, by the way. Not to get into spoilers. But this all started because I had a voice crack.
There were some live streams. Oh wow, this goes like on.
That's how extreme this is. It's affecting my vocal folds even yapping about it. Ben had been investigating a case of some potentially stolen Legos from Bricks and Minifigs. What happened is an individual named Brian took his father's Lego collection that his father had built up over years of his life. A very valuable collection valued roughly around $200,000 worth of product. He took it to Bricks and Minifigs to sell it to them on consignment, so that way he could take that money to his father, who was in not the best health, and this money was going to be used for very important things in the family. Well, what ended up happening is, when he took it to that shop, Bricks and Minifigs, the owner was pretty much forced out after they had talked about leaving the country, and then corporate stepped in. This is all backed up by oodles of evidence. There is the whole kit and caboodle of evidence confirming this
Oodles.
timeline, not the bricks and minifigs response of just actual gobbledygook that they keep trying to spit out. And when that owner was forced out and corporate took over, they put up a big stink crossing their arms and refused to give Brian his Lego collection back, which is still his collection. By the very contract that was signed, it is still his collection, but they then said, oh, we don't do consignment. We wipe our asshole with that. We wipe our dirty little ass with consignment papers. That's toilet paper to us. So get out of here. Kick rocks, pussy. So not only could Brian not get his Lego collection back from Bricks and Minifigs, but they didn't pay for it, and they were even marketing it and selling this Lego collection, a collection that they had no legal right to, considering, according to them, they don't even do consignment in the first place. Thus, how could they...
I bet they sold like most of the pieces and they don't know how to get them back. Charles has such a way with words. He is such a, the word, not a linguist, an orator. He's such an orator. Orator.
They possibly have this collection. It's not theirs to even be selling. So by all possible interpretations, that sounds like stolen product that they are selling to their customers. So this was a huge investigation from Ben into this corruption. It was unbelievable. I highly recommend you watch his coverage of it. And since then, they keep singing a different tune, like, oh, consignment, we don't do that. But then the previous owners came forward showing that as part of their agreement, they do actually sign off on consignment. It is there in plain English that they do accept consignment opportunities given some circumstances. So that's a lie from Bricks and Minifigs, it seems. And they are on camera saying to the previous owner, when you guys leave, when we take over, we are also taking on the consignment liability. All of this is right there out in the open, yet they still refuse to give Brian his father's Lego collection back, and they refuse to pay him for that collection that they have already been selling. How is that not stolen property? So anyway, part 2 has now come out, and again, at the end of part 1, Ben did successfully sue Bricks and Minifigs in small claims court. But in response to that victory, they just shut down the location in order to weasel out of having to pay that. They lost, and now, instead of like being held accountable and like actually paying what they owe, they shut down the shop. So Reckless Ben in part 2 is now trying to serve the papers for the next lawsuit here.
Like whack-a-mole.
He is going through the legal process, which is what in Bricks and Minifigs' official response said Ben needed to do, and he has already done that, and they have fought him tooth and nail, and they are now exploiting the legal system to try and silence him, allegedly, based on all of the evidence here. It's fucking terrifying, because in part 2, you're going to see they are using the law like it's their dick. Like, they are playing with it constantly. Bricks and Minifigs, that is. And the officers are more than happy to just swallow all of this come from them. They go out there and just start guzzling. They are there and harassing Ben and his team, threatening them constantly, and they do arrest them multiple.
Instead of songs and music that I just remembered, is it like a need to listen to now, or is it a we can wait? Is it like a palate cleanser? Should I add it to like the songs to open stream with?
Times they even go in with guns blazing to his fucking house and dislocate his shoulder, like roughhousing him outside, even though no one put up any kind of fight. It's crazy. Let's get into it.
So I started to file my lawsuit.
38 seconds.
But right after I filed this court case, it got rejected. And the reason was I failed to demonstrate a good faith effort to resolve the dispute prior to filing. Basically, before this court case can get approved, I have to at least attempt to settle with Josh outside of court first. I tried calling Josh, but I'm blocked.
I'm sorry.
Oh man. Basically, if Josh wants to save the day, I got him a trophy that says, Joshua Johnson saved the day. And we'll give him this trophy, but he has to give the Legos back first. So we started driving to Josh's house.
I had never heard of that. So in order to file this lawsuit, he needed to play in the pig pen with Josh for a little bit here to demonstrate that he tried in good faith to resolve it amicably. So that's exactly what Ben tried to do. He drove out to Josh in order to meet him in person.
This is the most creative, like, malicious compliance I have seen. Like, oh, we're gonna give him a trophy. We're gonna try to do something nice for him if he rejects that.
To try and just squash the beef right then and there and get the Legos back so that way it didn't have to go through the legal system here with this lawsuit. Ben has been doing everything above board based on everything that I've seen here. Again, I'm not a fucking lawyer, but it is telling him what he needs to do legally, and he is doing it. Yeah, he's kind of being a little silly about it, like with the trophy, but I mean, that's exactly what Josh deserves. He deserves to be treated like a fucking temper tantrum-riddled child. That's what Josh is. We've heard him on the phone fucking melting down, crashing out, freaking out, sucking his thumb, farting his butt off. Like, this guy super sucks. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with delivering him a little, cheeky trophy.
Okay, wait. Okay. So one of my dogs, she's built like she never skipped arm day, okay? She's wild. She farts constantly. But it's not like once like a dog sitting down. It's like when she goes to stand up on the windowsill. I'm so zooted. This is so much funnier than it used to be. Eloquence of this man. But like, it's constant. It's all the time. They're loud. They're loud. They're so loud. I've never heard a dog fart so loud. So consistently. So, farting the butt off.
About like, oh, he saved the day. Look, you finally did it, Josh. In order to avoid the lawsuit, if Josh is willing to do that. But guess what? Josh isn't that much of a man. He's a little bitch.
This happened.
Dude, the police just showed up. What the heck? Why are the police at his house?
Oh, there's another one, dude. 2 cop cars.
My name's Oscar. This is American Fork Police. The reason I stopped you is the stop sign. You just didn't stop that.
I didn't? No. I thought I stopped.
Yeah, you definitely stopped. So you said he ran a stop sign? Huh? You said he ran a stop sign?
I didn't see what happened.
Yeah, I was like,
I didn't see what happened.
Yeah.
I was so sure that we stopped at the stop sign that I actually requested all the police footage of this. And as you can see, we didn't even do a rolling stop. We fully stopped at the stop sign. So this is an illegal traffic stop.
Yeah, the corruption kicks off immediately upon Ben even entering the zone here. He's in the fucking PvP-enabled zone now. So Ben gets in the server, and Josh was alerted to it, potentially, from some of the other Bricks and Minifigs associates that knew that Ben was there. So, as they're going to try and, have this peaceful conversation with Josh about this whole thing, as he is required to do by law as the first steps before filing a lawsuit, Josh has already alerted the police there. So Josh already hunkers down, surrounded by his own private military force here with the Utah Police Department that's protecting him.
They just use the
And
cops like
they
that.
decide to initiate what seems to be an illegal traffic stop here on Ben, saying that he didn't stop at the stop sign, but he requested the footage from the cops on the dash cam. You can see them stop. They stopped. I think it's pretty obvious they were just looking for an excuse to stop them and intimidate them.
So who's Ben? Me? Ben? How's Utah? It's good. Like it?
We were forced to go home
That's
without
fucking
having
weird.
this good faith conversation the court requires us to have.
Pretty cool officer.
That's fucking weird. How's Utah? Fuck you. That's so uncomfortable.
He thinks he's in an action movie or something. Hey, Ben, how's Utah, bud?
Yeah.
I don't know why he's acting like that. That's so cringe. But anyway, Ben then explains the reason for being there. He then goes back to the car, and this is all on body cam. He says, give me the ID for Reckless Ben. Everything else he said was a lie. Even though Ben was telling him the true story, they just immediately write it off as a lie, showing pretty clearly that they are already against Ben and his team, trying to get justice for an old man who has been butt-fucked by this massive corporation, and they are trying to do it legally through the legal system that is instructing them to go there and have that conversation with Josh peacefully, but they're not letting him do that, so they had to go home empty-handed because, well, the police weren't going to allow that to happen.
I actually remembered that there's another owner of the store named Brandon Best. Brandon is the guy in the security camera footage that illegally kicked the first owner out of the store so he could steal all their Legos. I tried calling him, but I am also blocked.
I'm sorry.
The only option left is to show up to his house.
Hello. Hey, how's it going? Hello?
So with that now being a dead end, that quest has failed. He still has to demonstrate to the court that in good faith he had a conversation to try and solve it peacefully. So instead, he is now going to one of the other owners, Brandon Best. And Brandon actually does answer the door, but Brandon seems to be in like a fugue state. This guy comes out there like he's fucking possessed. I don't even think he knows what planet he's on. Brandon comes out there like he's confused on what year it is.
Hey, well, I was wondering if you'd be down to pay us for the lawsuit that we won.
Buffering me right now.
It kind of seems like Brandon doesn't want to have this good faith conversation to resolve this problem outside of court. And I gave him plenty of time to speak.
I guess if you don't want to talk, I'll just talk. So you guys told us to take you to court. We went to court and we won. We know you closed down the store to avoid paying us, so we could just sue you guys personally and do the whole thing again. We would obviously win again, but
then the police showed up.
This boggles my mind. So Brandon is swaying over there like a fucking drunken zombie, refusing to say any words at all. He's gone catatonic, and he is still, his company, they've still not paid the lawsuit that they lost. How is that allowed? How is that not a crime against them? How can Ben win this case legally? It's in the system. This isn't like, far-fetched, like nonsense. It's a real legitimate case they won, and they're just not giving the payment that they are supposed to? I just don't know how that's not illegal. So the police do show up. They're immediately on Brandon's side, going after Ben about how Ben's lying about everything, even though it is all in the system. He won. Why is it? How can they just say, like, nah, we don't feel like paying. In fact, we'll just shut down the store, so how's that taste? This is what we'll pay you with. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. How is that not immediately?
Oh my god, this is gonna tank their business. Like, this is like, oh god, like, even outside of just the interactions with, like, Ben, like, everything online, like, this is like bad episode of like Kitchen Nightmares level of like bad publicity. This is Amy's Baking Company, but for Legos.
A crime that they are just dodging this the responsibility to pay what they are supposed to. They lost. What the fuck kind of sense does this make? How is that allowed? What kind of fucking legal system do they have over there in Utah?
And again, for some reason, they are really trying to protect these criminals.
He didn't steal anything. He inherited the store from somebody
no,
else.
he stole $200,000
How
worth
do you know this?
Because I've been spending the last 3 months in the case, and I won in court.
He inherited the store. He's being blamed for everything that the previous owner did, and he's trying
Well,
to
that's a lie. So we.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, I'm sorry.
The police officers are like brainwashed by Bricks and Minifigs. Are they just all in like Bricks and Minifigs pockets or something? This makes no sense. Why is she now regurgitating their lies? She doesn't even know what the fuck is going on. So why is she saying it as if she's coming at it from a place of like knowledge on the case? She has no clue. So why is she taking him at his word instead of Ben, who literally has a court victory confirming his side of things? Bricks and Minifigs has nothing. They have nothing. They have their lies. They have their incorrect accounts of things. Ben has actual evidence and proof. So why are the police on Brandon's side? Why? And why is she saying verbatim what they keep saying? This is very odd. Very, very peculiar.
A lie, and we already proved this in court. Okay.
If you come back and step foot on this property, you're gonna go to jail.
The police gave me a formal trespass notice, which I took a picture of it and sent it to the court as proof I tried to have this good faith conversation, but Brandon didn't want to have it with me. And turns out this was good enough. My court case with Brandon Best got accepted. But my court case with Josh is still going to be rejected until I find a way to have this good faith conversation with him.
So there we go. One of the fetch quests have been completed here. He tried to have the conversation with Brandon. He got trespassed for it, submitted it, they accepted it, but he now still has to try and find a way to do it with Josh.
After some more research, we found out that both Josh and Brandon are super hardcore Mormon.
This becomes extremely relevant information later on as a possible connection between the bricks and mini figs goobers here that we are
Mormons.
dealing with, as well as the law enforcement, because some of the local law enforcement officers that are constantly trying to have Ben and his team arrested and actually do.
So, as someone who's been paying attention to YouTuber drama for many, many, many years, Ruby Frankie was also from Utah and also Mormon. And then I think there was like another family vlogger that was from Utah and also Mormon. Like, there's a lot of problems out there with the way the Mormon church is running shit and how intertwined it is with like politics, and how like if you turn your back on like the community, like you are basically shunned from society. Like it's wild. It's gross.
Get them arrested, actually put them in cuffs and everything. They are also hardcore Mormons from all of the evidence Ben presents. So is there a chance that they were just trying to protect their own, even knowing that he is doing something highly immoral and possibly very much allegedly, potentially criminal, illegal? Anyway, as Ben is leaving, he and his team are pulled over again by the officers, who are now initiating another traffic stop. And it became pretty clear what the tactic that was being used here from Josh and Brandon was. Since Ben had told Brandon that he is now suing them personally, he's going to go after them personally, it seems like they are desperately trying to find any excuse to have them thrown in the slammer to avoid that. So now we are going to get really familiar with the police department, because they've got them on the leash. Bricks and Minifigs, the puppet master out there, it seems, because they are
so weird,
using the police department willy-nilly out the wazoo, constantly sending them like dogs after Ben and his team. Even though Ben and his team are doing everything legally by the book, as they are supposed to do, as Bricks and Minifigs said they needed to do, by the way. Now they're doing it legally and being fucking stalked, basically, by the police department, wielded by Brandon and Josh.
So, yeah, we ended up just driving home, but on our way back, this happened.
What? Pull over again? For what? How's it going?
How's it going? I'm Officer Hawkins, American Fork Police Department. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Well, what's your name? Are you Ben?
The police apparently got a call that we had heroin on us.
This officer is going to conduct a search of your person because there are illegal substances in the vehicle. Really? So he's going to do that. I'm going to put this away, and then we'll be right. Don't. Oh, okay. Don't reach in your pockets for me. Okay. Sounds good.
Jesus, these guys are gonna.
After 2 hours.
These Bricks and Minifigs people are gonna get these kids killed because of these jumpy cops. This is awful.
Hours of searching the car. Obviously, they found no drugs.
So he didn't find.
I explained to the police that we didn't have drugs, and the reality of the situation is that Bricks and Minifigs is so desperate at this point that they're willing to do anything to get us arrested so they don't have to pay for the property they stole.
Yeah, that's pretty low. These fucking scumbags are now resorting to falsifying these reports to officers. They are maliciously relaying fraudulent information to the officers to try and have Ben and his team arrested. So now, Brandon...
Like, for real, given what we know with, like, American cops, like, if Ben was any other color, if Ben was any other hair type, like, this could be so much worse. But this is wild.
Brandon / Josh here is saying that they had heroin in their car, so the police pulled them over and searched for drugs, and of course they didn't find anything. And interestingly enough, this appears to be part of a pattern from Josh Johnson. This seems to be one of his go-to tactics. According to one of the previous owners of the Bricks and Minifigs, where all this started, Patient Zero, when
Thank you for the follow. Welcome in.
Corporate swooped in and, you know, excommunicated them from the Continental, Josh Johnson had apparently been spreading rumors telling people that they, the previous owners, were selling heroin. So Josh really seems to like that lie about, oh, a person I don't like and I want to have arrested? Oh yeah, they have heroin. Oh yeah, they're selling heroin. Apparently this seems to be something he does pretty often. Why is that not a crime? I mean, it is a crime, but why is he not being arrested for it? They've now gone through the search. They found nothing. We now know that he was wrong, and we now...
Yeah, isn't there like some kind of... I don't know, maybe this is just New Jersey, where like it's for like wasting officers' time or wasting state time or something to that effect. Like there's a law, I think, on the books where like the state can sue you for the time that you wasted of the police officer. Like that's the only reason, like them being involved in like a church conspiracy is the only reason I would think they wouldn't do that.
Now see that, at least according to one other source here, he has done this at least twice on purpose. That's a crime. Can we get him, maybe held accountable for that shit? It's kind of ridiculous.
They were still not going to let us go until we told them where the drugs were.
Your eyes, for example, right? There's a constriction, which is dilated, and then not.
First openly gay politician where Harvey Milk. Yeah, I didn't end up covering it. I was gonna make me too emotional. I didn't want to. I wasn't here for that vibe right now. But we love Harvey Milk. Go see the movie with Sean Penn, or there's a documentary on YouTube. I think it's called Timeline. Name, but
So I haven't been looking at this. I'll show him. Go ahead and look at him.
yeah, emotional headspace.
You do see it?
So
it's crazy. I have no idea because I've never done any drugs in my life. I don't do drugs. I don't do alcohol. I've never done any of that in my life.
Wait. Hold on. I gotta backtrack. They're seriously trying to be like, yeah, you are on drugs because your eyes are constricting.
Which is dilated, and then
Do you
not.
notice it?
So I haven't been looking at this. I'll show him. Go ahead and look at him.
I'll look at you.
Yep.
You do see it?
So
it's crazy. I have no idea because I've never done any drugs in my life. I don't do drugs. I don't do alcohol. I've never done any of that in my life. I'm willing to do any drug tests. Like I'm very cooperative. I don't understand what you're seeing in my eyes.
I'm gonna have a discussion with this officer.
Oh, they're really scraping the bottom of the
Yeah, I'm
barrel
not
here. They're
American,
really
so I
trying to
had
alt.
to
Oh,
ask.
it's your eyes.
Oh yeah, no problem. Harvey Milk was one of. He was elected to a few different offices, but he was a politician out in California that was assassinated. But he did a lot of really good stuff for the queer community and defeated. I think it was Proposition 9, which was going to say that people who were homosexual could not work as like teachers or police officers or doctors. Oh, I know. Oh, my bad.
Your eyes, you have heroin eyes.
My bad.
I can see the heroin in your eyes, Buster. But hats off to this guy for remaining so calm. He's like, okay, do you see it? This fucking fairy tale. You see it? Hey, look, I'll do any drug test. Let's rip it. And then the officer's like, give me a moment. Give me a second.
And then the police department illegally redacted this conversation too. My guess is that they acknowledged that it's very obvious we don't have drugs on us, but they were going to try and pressure us into giving some type of false confession anyways.
I'm not sure if you're lying to me or not. To be honest,
I'm willing to take any drug test you want.
I'm walking a very dangerous line, which can get you hemmed up a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And you could end up in jail in Utah when you're from Cali.
Okay.
Not worth it, right?
Yeah.
We play differently here. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I'm willing to cooperate with you guys and do anything you want me to because I'm not hiding anything.
Wild.
We weren't giving the
The
police a false
audacity.
confession like they wanted, so eventually I guess they just got tired and let us go.
Oh my god, I love that from the officer. You're walking a real dangerous line here, mister. What, the dangerous line being cooperative? What dangerous line is he walking? He's telling you he will do whatever drug test you want, and you're like, oh, you better be very, very careful saying shit like that. I'm about to take you the fuck down. And then they're even saying we play differently over here. No, it seems like you play stupid. It seems like you play unethical ball, is what it seems like. Because you are being wielded like...
I don't know how I know how all those police officers aren't fired, but like in a just society, they would be.
Josh's personal fleshlight. This is a complete bogus stop here based on false information. Clearly, you know there's no drugs there. There's no probable cause to take it further. Both of these men don't seem to be intoxicated or on any substances at all. It's plain as...
Okay, you want to know how you start to fix problems like this on a basic level, right? Here's what you do. Figure out who is the sheriff currently. You, in your state, should be able to vote for the sheriff of your county. whoever is wasting these fucking tax dollars, vote them out. And then replace them. And then work your way up from there. American police are trained like 33 weeks, I heard, and many of them joined from the military. Not all of them. Some are National Guard or, you know, just regular Joe Schmoes. Not all of them get like the same amount of training. I think it's different in every state, but I'm sure someone will correct me. In New Jersey, you have more hours as a hairdresser than you do as a cop. More like training hours.
His day, they're being cooperative, and they're still trying to find any excuse to lock them up, under the directions of Josh, most likely. That's what it seems to be. So yeah, I guess they do play by some different rules over there. Some very corrupt rules, seemingly. This is just totally fucking unacceptable. Every officer you see in this video doing shit like this, I think absolutely needs to be fired. And beyond that, needs to be investigated and potentially thrown in jail themselves. Having corrupt officers like this is extremely dangerous to public safety. And there is overwhelming evidence to showcase, at the very least, complete...
In my country, that's unheard of. We have 2.5 years training to be a police officer. What country? Is it the UK?
incompetence to the point where that is also dangerous to public safety. It's fucking outrageous.
We'll let you guys go now, but you're walking a thin line. Just be mindful.
Eden, nice.
At this point, I've documented everything I've been through to
I have friends that live in Norway, which is not that close to Sweden, but
the court that I've tried to have this good faith conversation with Josh. He just doesn't want to have it with me. And because of everything I went through, my court case finally got approved.
Yay!
So now we can go to the next steps here. And I know I keep interrupting a lot, but it's just so much to unpack here. So much corruption. It's unreal. All over Legos. And what is
one of my best friends
very
is
easily provable,
Aww,
bricks and minifigs.
I love
being in the
that.
law. Like, it's
Happy Pride to your friends.
The officer's then saying, all right, be mindful. Be mindful of what? Driving and doing nothing wrong? Because that's what they were doing. Be mindful of what? Some psychopath lunatic calling in a false report to have the police scoot in sideways on you? That's completely out of his control. You can't be mindful of that. You have a maniac on the loose over there named Josh.
And attached to this email are court papers to serve Josh. The only problem is Josh is not going to open this door for anyone. So I made this poster that says, I stole a dying man's life savings, and printed it out. Now I'm placing this poster in a public space right across the street from Josh's house. Yeah, it turns out I have a process server to serve him his court papers. But almost immediately, my sign got blocked.
Oh no, he's blocking our sign.
As you can imagine, this is where it really pops off. So he now has the court papers to serve Josh, but he has to serve Josh.
I was looking down. Were those billboards? Lego, yeah, we're doing it. I'm Demi. Nice. I looked down. Was it just on a wall or was it a billboard? Because here in Jersey, you can take out full billboards over the parkway. Lego Tats Denmark. We are sorry for that.
Josh. So he gets a process server out there. He tries to get Josh to come
I like
outside
Legos.
to,
I just
like,
feel
take
bad
down
for
the sign.
this.
It is on public property.
Wait, so do we know what happened to the regular guy? The guy who was trying to get the consignment stuff? Like, where is he during all of this? Is he also getting, like, arrested? Like, where did he check out? I feel like I missed that step.
He is 100% within his right to put that sign there. But once again, protecting Josh, here comes the goof troop. They're now blocking the sign, and they're about to go have some very stern conversations with Ben, and things are going to only continue to escalate.
What are you guys doing here? So we are in a court case with them, and we have to serve them legal papers.
The police realize that we're not breaking any laws, and they've been called here for a false reason, so they decided to leave. And then we got the police called on us again.
Hello? Yeah, the court requires us to come in person for some reason, so...
Again, the cops realized that we are doing nothing illegal and decided to leave. Now it's time to serve Josh his court papers. But we got the police called on us again.
Hello? Yep, I see those papers. Yeah.
I just don't understand how Josh is allowed to do this. Why is this not punishable? They have come out 3 times now, And they keep recognizing that there is nothing illegal going on here, and Josh keeps calling them out. There is very clearly a deep personal connection here. And you're going to see in a moment, it might...
Yeah, it's just, it's weird. It's weird.
...be because they are Mormons, and they are, like, very tight-knit here. But Josh is able to just use the circus here, borrow the clowns, and keep sending them at Ben, but they don't have any, like, legal mustard to throw him in jail over. So now, in a last-ditch Hail Mary, he's coming to check the papers to see if the...
This is strange. The police comes around all the time. Oh, no. In America, the police are not that great. I feel like there's more police that kill dogs in a day than regular people who kill dogs in a day. But feel free to correct me on those statistics.
Papers are fake. To get him on that, like, these are fake papers, give me it, you're going to jail, that kind of thing. But he's about to find out they're not fake. He is doing everything lawfully and legally. He has to try and serve these papers. Josh just won't play ball with him. And I guess they all play different ball over there, because now the police are also actively trying to prevent that from happening too. They're standing in the way of justice. They're actively preventing the legal system from working.
He could even just serve the papers for me.
You okay if I get these?
It's shoot first, ask questions later. Yeah, it's shoot first, cover up the evidence, don't ask any questions.
Papers to him?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, just give me 1 minute.
Okay, thank you.
Sadly, we can't see the police officer serve Josh because the police department redacted all of it. But the only thing that really matters is that Josh is getting served.
He does not want the paper. So
He's not want the papers?
Here's that back for you.
Isn't that not
What a
how that
surprise.
works?
How is that allowed?
Isn't that not how that works? You can't, I don't think you're allowed to do that.
Hey, so he's serving you these papers, part of the legal process, an integral part of the legal process. Oh, you don't want them? Oh my God, I'm so sorry to bother you, Josh. Do you want me to fondle your balls, by the way, real quick? Okay, all right, let me do that real quick. Okay, I'm gonna go take these back over there to Ben now, all right?
Here,
I'm
it's
sorry, I didn't
highly
mean to bother
unusual
you.
for a firearm to
Yeah,
be
no, I understand.
used. Yeah, there's more guns than people in this
Hey,
country.
you don't want them, I'm sorry. I'll just go ahead and continue to impede the legal system. Thank you so much, Josh. I love you, brother. Group hug in the shower tonight? Thoughts? No, all right, sorry. I'll go ahead and scram. Let me go ahead and bring these back over there to ensure that they don't get served to you as is lawfully required by the legal system. Have a good day, Josh.
Papers.
Not sure what this
Yeah,
is.
okay, I honestly, like, how do you not look at this as, like, a lawyer and try to do everything you can to get these people fired? Because, like, this is just sheer, like, bending over backwards.
I've never seen something like that. It doesn't look good when you've been trespassed.
Yeah.
Trying to serve papers.
Well, I think it looks exactly how we're supposed to do it legally. This is the legal way to do it.
I always thought that the police were supposed to remain unbiased, and if they were going to take a side, they definitely shouldn't take the side of the criminal. But I guess I was wrong. We got the police called on us again.
Oh, sure. The
For what?
paper? The serving paper?
Yeah. Trying to speak with someone to verify if
I love your guns over there. Hoorah.
case is
I
just
hate.
verify if a case is real.
Yeah, looks like a real small claims case in our court.
Okay, thank you for your help. That's all.
Oh, God, so there's even a record of this on the small claims court side. Because the clerk is going to, like, these, like, are noted, usually. Like, these are easy things to find.
Thank you.
So after bringing the papers back, after refusing to serve it to Josh because he said, nuh-uh, the officer then gets, like, really accusatory with him, saying, this is bogus paper, this is stupid paper, you got dumb paper, watch out, bud. And then they leave. Then the cops get called on him again. This time he directly takes the papers because he's going to try and find out if they're real or not definitively. He definitively gets a hard, yes, those are real, it is legitimate, and you would think at that point it'd be smooth sailing, like, okay, this is all real. Everything Ben's saying seems to be truthful. That's not how this goes.
I think this phone call was the breaking point for the police.
Oh, he's rubbing his chin.
The police couldn't handle the fact that I was right and they were wrong.
Okay.
Okay, take your hands behind your back.
Am I being arrested?
You're under arrest right now.
Really?
I was confused on what I was being arrested for. I mean, the same police officers that arrested me gave me permission to do exactly what I was doing.
You can film from the sidewalk wherever it's public, right? But you can't go on that property if you do.
I've never held a gun. I've heard someone say that a gun is more common in America households than a fresh vegetable. It depends on the state.
Be charged, okay? Okay, yeah, for sure.
I got arrested for just doing what the police told me to do.
Not only doing what the police told him to do, by the way, what the legal system instructs him to do. He has to serve those fucking papers. He won in small claims court. They didn't pay. And now he's suing them personally. And to do that, as he has already been accepted and did everything by the legal process, has to serve the next phase of papers. And the cops have come out fucking 4 times. The goof troop keeps rolling in here. And now...
You think this will make it into the history textbooks? Do you think, like, when you're looking... All right, let's pretend it's, like, 2050, right? You know? And we're looking back at, like, our kids or our grandkids, like, textbooks or they're doing homework. What do you think that they're learning about in the 2020s? Do you think this is, like, a small subsection in, like, because, like, some of my history books would have pop culture moments in it, like, usually in the margin or in, like, some kind of corner of it to kind of keep people interested. And so, like, do you think maybe they would have, like, that? That would be cool.
After they have gotten definitive proof that this is all real and Ben is telling the truth, they then just arrest him for it. Oh, you've got some nerve coming around Utah telling the truth, Ben. Like, what the fuck is this? This is actual insanity.
Nostalgia, it's true. I don't know why it's muted. Did I do it? No, I didn't do it. Did I break it? No. Maybe it just got, like, copyright claimed? They're talking about their association with the Mormon church. There's 3 dudes that own bricks and minifigs that went to BYU. Brigham Young, Utah. He spelled clan with a K. I caught that. Maybe the American police broke it on purpose. Maybe.
So that's where the potential connection comes into play. So all the officers are apparently pretty hardcore Mormons, as well as our main assholes here from Bricks and Minifigs. So that would explain why these officers are so cooperative with Josh in particular, even though they keep getting routine calls out there for nothing. And even though they definitely got a false report and acted on fraudulent information and still keep doing it for Josh, it seems. So I think that's probably...
There's almost no Mormons here. I don't think it's very popular outside of Utah. I don't know many places that have a highly populated Mormon area.
Correct. I think Brian's right. I think it is because they are all part of this Mormon community that is just looking to protect each other. So instead of holding someone accountable like Josh, who is engaging very clearly in some extremely immoral shit and potentially criminal shit, potentially he's doing a lot of heavy lifting there. I think there is overwhelming evidence to suggest there is definitely something very fishy afoot at the very least, and still refusing to give back those Legos to Brian, which, again, by his own company's admission, they shouldn't even have in the first place if they don't do consignment. Thus, they have no legal right to that inventory, and they are selling what is, by textbook definition, stolen property. All of this is something not even being considered by the law enforcement, despite Brian proving...
I read up now. There's 9,700 members here. Oh, wow. That's a lot of Mormons.
In court, winning his case that he is the one being truthful, that his account of things is accurate, that the evidence is on Brian's side, not Bricks and Minifig's side. No matter what, though, it doesn't matter to the police department here, it seems, because they'd rather just protect Josh.
Man, is Charlie gonna end up in another court case Like he did with Carl Jobs against Billy Mitchell.
Because they're Mormons. That appears to be what's going on. That's the only possible explanation for why they're going so hard against Ben. And this isn't even the hardest they go. He gets arrested here, and he does get out on bail. He gets arrested off absolute nothingness, just complete fucking barnacles. And they still aren't done with him. They still aren't finished with him. They are actually trying to just ruin his life and throw him in jail forever for the crime of reporting the truth and trying to get justice. He is going through all of the proper legal channels, doing it the right way, and even following all of the orders from the police and still getting this unfair treatment. So yeah, it probably is because they are in this tight-knit community here, and they just want to keep protecting each other instead of holding them accountable, like Josh or Brandon or something. And it's fucking gross.
Never met one. Maybe the Mormon Church in Sweden are less like the American, maybe.
So they're putting that above their duty of protecting the public and enforcing the law and getting the bad guys in jail. Instead, they're getting the good guys thrown in jail here.
Out of jail now?
And this is when it really hit me that the justice system has decided to protect these criminals. So now there's really only one way I can think of to get this family the money back that got stolen from them, which is a GoFundMe. Time to promote it, to start getting donations. We printed out the GoFundMe's picture to hang it up so we could get a nice Instagram video to post to social media. But before the group could even hang the picture up, the police came.
What you guys up to?
Bro, the fucking police department must be headquartered in Josh's house or something. Like, holy shit.
Jesus
He must have like an
Christ.
underground facility of just these clone troopers from the Utah Police Department. They are just spawn camping. They literally live in fucking Josh's house, I guess. Just for the sole purpose of trying to arrest Ben and his team for trying to get justice.
We're starting to GoFundMe.
Yeah.
What we're doing is we're going to get a bunch of publicity to get basically all this money back for this family.
Into some defamation stuff.
Again, the police were thinking of any technicality they could think of to protect their Mormon friend.
Look at your stalking code. See if it's that. If it's not, we're going to look at disorderly. If it's not disorderly, then we're going to look at the city ordinance.
But after going through every law they could think of, it turns out that hanging this sign on a fence and then taking a picture of it for Instagram is not illegal. In fact, what the group is doing is actually protected under the First Amendment, freedom of speech. So one of the police officers let the group know that they were okay to keep doing this.
Right now, I don't think you guys are breaking the law.
But this other police officer wasn't able to accept this reality.
We're going to take it down.
I love that. One officer's like, alright, so you guys aren't breaking the law, and the other guy's like, dagnabbit! And takes it down and throws it in the cruiser. So you can see them literally salivating and trying to really grasp at straws for any possible way of perverting the law to suit their puppet master's instructions,
This is an
allegedly, to
embarrassment.
have them arrested. So they are doing everything they can to find some way, some excuse to arrest them, even though what they're doing isn't illegal. And the officers even said that on his body cam, by the way.
I can actually hear what they're saying here.
He sees it or give it back? Is it an occasional crime? Is it disorderly conduct? Why? Is he upset about it? I mean, I guess, but that's not.
Yeah, this police officer is right. Just because this might make Josh upset does not make this poster illegal. So I decided to let the police department know that some of the redactions they made aren't exactly what they're claiming they are.
Redaction was.
Okay, well, that didn't happen.
That definitely didn't happen.
No, I don't do that, Ben. I follow the Utah State Code, like I just said.
Right here, the police are actually admitting to themselves that none of this is illegal, but they're still going to try to arrest us anyways. It seems like the only reason they're getting rid of this audio is to protect the police officers from getting fired. I don't know what the police officers are saying in this next clip, but I'm pretty sure they're scheming up a way to get the group arrested, because this is what happens next.
And Lieutenant Adamson can correct me if I'm wrong, but we're going to seize your phone right now.
Why?
Don't. Do not do that. You understand me? Right now, you're attempting to destroy evidence. Okay? Put your hands behind your back.
So Ben was able to sync up some of the redactions here and actually find some of what they were saying, and it does appear that they are saying, like, yeah, not really a crime, but then they still do find a way to weasel out some kind of excuse for an arrest, and that's exactly what they do. So, and he also reports it, by the way, and the lady says, that didn't happen. Nope, we don't do that, Ben. I don't do that. Didn't happen. Even though you can watch and hear it, but whatever, I guess.
That's
So yeah,
illegal
now
here
they
what the
start
police
arresting
did.
him,
Yeah.
and as he's giving him his phone, he goes to lock it. And
It's so gross.
Officer Goofball here, in his tactical glasses, hits him with a "don't do that." I thought he was about to draw his weapon on him. All because the guy had the gall to try and lock his phone. Which is like a normal habit, by the way. Anytime I see my phone's unlocked, I lock it too. Every human being on the planet does. So just going to lock his phone, super normal. That's not destroying evidence. Also, they don't have any legal ground to stand on for how that could be destroying evidence. They don't even have a warrant to search.
Yeah, they do have to have a warrant to search his phone. He would have been put on leave. Yeah, everyone here should be fired, but they won't be. They'll get moved to a different department in another county or some shit. But like, that's so gross.
It or anything. So he did nothing wrong, but the officer instantly springs into like combat mode there over it.
I was just locking my phone.
Okay, I'm going to switch over to the police officer's body cam POV so we can dissect what just happened. First, the police officer asks if he can confiscate Sheldon's phone, so Sheldon says, okay, and reaches in his pocket to give it to him. But at this point, Sheldon sees that his phone is unlocked. And at this moment, he decided that before giving it to the police officer, he was going to lock his phone, which is totally legal. There's no search warrant, so Sheldon is legally allowed to lock his phone. But as the police officer saw Sheldon's thumb moving towards that lock button, he snatched it out of his hands. And now the police officer's claiming that because he tried to lock his phone, he's destroying evidence.
Silence.
Yeah, I was giving it to you.
Talking.
I was
Stop
giving
talking,
it to you.
Okay?
Let him have the phone. I wasn't trying to delete anything. In fact, it is actually impossible to delete something from an iPhone from a locked screen by hitting the power button. So in no context could I have been trying to erase something by hitting one button on my phone. Now I'm sure you have a phone as well. When you hit the power button, that doesn't delete anything, does it?
I imagine it wouldn't, yeah.
Yes, that's all I did.
Another arrest in the books for these fucking corrupt weenies over there. This is outrageous.
These are your tax dollars at work. This is what your tax dollars are being used on. Are you kidding me?
So now he has to defend himself about like the claims of destroying or obstructing.
Protecting dudes from paying what they owe. Protecting pedophiles and killing children. That's what America is known for. Is that defamation?
Evidence for locking his phone, which again, everyone does that, and he's legally within his right to do so. They don't have a search warrant for it. But they're trying to bully him. They're trying to scare him. That has been their tactics this entire time. But they don't have anything on him, yet here he is, arrested for nothing. Even though, on body cam, we can even see them say, not really breaking any laws. So why is he here? Food for thought. That's a little interesting, huh?
I literally couldn't have imagined a worse ending for this video. But I had no clue that it was about to get way worse.
Oh my god.
Police Department, make yourself known.
Search warrant. Stand up. Step outside, everybody. Come on.
America is a weird democracy. You got two parties. America is trash, okay? We are 3 trash bags in a Gucci belt. All right? It's awful. All right? We are doing the best we can out here with the scraps we are getting, but we are slowly coming back.
You understand me? Don't move like that.
We got 8 in Parliament. Yeah, we need more than 2.
So far back, it dislocated my shoulder.
Oh!
He claims it's because I was attempting to make an escape or something.
Don't move like that. You understand me? Don't move like that. Don't move quick. Everybody just chill.
But if we go back a little bit, you can see I was being completely still when he grabbed me, and I actually made 0 quick movements. So this police officer is just straight up lying so he can give me a serious injury.
Included in the warrant are Legos.
And this is where it really, really, really gets unhinged. They come in with the guns drawn on the house. They fucking raid it based on a complete bogus search warrant where now the Bricks and Minifigs guys are trying to claim, oh, Ben stole the Legos, and the judge signed off on this search warrant here. So now they go and they are.
I've been in the States when I was a kid, but I wouldn't go there today. See, here's the problem I have. I fucking love this country. I love this goddamn country. I love the people of this country. I love the places of this country. I love the food. I love the weather. I love it sea to sea to shining sea. It is such a beautiful fucking country, and the way that we come together as a nation has always been our strongest suit. But our government sucks. That's it. I wouldn't tell anybody to come here right now. If you are not from this country, do not come because you will get got off the plane, okay? I highly recommend do not come to America anytime soon. Like, ICE is in the airports. It stresses me out. I've traveled the world so I've seen many places. That's awesome. I love this country. I wouldn't say it's like the worst and to never come here again. I just think now is a bad time because I don't want you to go to jail.
Arrest everyone in that house, and Ben in particular, they rough up. They dislocate his shoulder and claim that he was threatening to run, that he was giving them an indication he was about to flee. But the body cam betrays that lie because you can see he's not. He's just standing there, and they just wanted to fuck him up because they could. This is so ridiculous. This should be huge outrage across Utah. Like, this is your law enforcement doing this, by the way. And these are your tax dollars being used to do shit like this. Being misused by people like the bricks and minifigs goobers like Josh and Brandon. You should be upset. Anyone should see this and be extremely concerned and alarmed. Again, every officer that we're seeing here should 100% lose their jobs for this. It is corruption in broad daylight. This is just bare naked corruption. There are corporate ghouls that are weaponizing your local law enforcement for their own personal gain. They are using it as their own tool to turn it against you, the civilians. They're using it against Ben and his friends because they are hurting their feelings and exposing their very shady,
They have wasted more tax dollars on protecting them than they would, than the bricks and minifigs would have lost if they had just settled this.
immoral actions based on all available evidence, and they don't like that. So now they are just completely shitting all over their rights as American citizens, the First Amendment most notably. It should concern you. If there is a level of wealth that can be accumulated by people like Josh and Brandon that can let them just tap into the police resources and use it against individuals they don't like, that should keep you up at night and have you concerned. That is a huge fucking problem, because that seems to be what's going on here based on all the evidence I'm seeing. Ben and his team had followed the law to a T. Yes, they got a little wacky with some of the ways they went about it, but there's nothing wrong with doing that. Again, that's protected. They did everything lawfully based on everything I can see here, and every step of the way, the police department was working to impede them in that journey for justice. It's fucking scary.
Yes. The police department got an official warrant to search our house for stolen Legos. I should have seen this coming. Josh did threaten me in the last video that if I go out and actually try to sue him, he's gonna come out and say that I'm the one that stole the Legos. Okay, let's do it.
Fuck you, man. You stole them, bitch.
I stole the Legos?
Yeah, you're a fucking thief.
Dang.
Okay. You can shut the fuck up. That's your fucking choice.
Again, there's recorded evidence that this is also false.
Every single thing that could be used as evidence has been recorded. Wild.
Josh even made that threat in the previous video. If you come after me, I'll tell them you stole the Legos, bitch.
You could not script better content.
Why is Josh not in handcuffs? This is clearly fraudulent. He is wasting police resources. Why is Josh immune to it? Very odd. Isn't that strange?
I got taken to an interrogation room so they could find some reason to lock me up for good.
Ben, I'm Detective Nikosha.
Last time, I was able to get released on bail. This time, they're requesting that I be held in jail a month until my court date. But there's honestly nothing for me to hide, so I went through the entire story with them to show the detective that this whole thing is just a big misunderstanding.
This is where my heart broke for Ben. So they already got him on some bullshit before he was out on bail. They got him again now on more bullshit, extreme bullshit, and now they're looking to deny bail and hold him for a month. And Ben was under the belief that because he's done nothing wrong, this system will protect him. And that he shouldn't be afraid to tell officers the truth because the truth and the evidence is on his side.
I feel like 2020 Charlie would have said something very different. So I appreciate the growth.
That's just not the reality. And that's not even exclusive to the Utah Police Department. One of the most important pieces of advice experts give, and this actually includes some police officers as well, is do not talk to the police.
Yeah,
without a
shut your
lawyer present.
mouth.
Let the lawyer be the one to mediate.
Yeah, don't keep your fucking mouth shut. Don't say a goddamn thing.
And talk with the police.
Don't say yes. Don't say no. Don't say nothing.
For you, because in a situation like this, the police are not there to help you. They're there to fuck you. They are looking for, in Ben's case here, an excuse to hold him for that month. And Ben, knowing that he's done nothing wrong and can prove that everything he's done is legal by the book and lawful, was under the belief that, well, I've got nothing to hide. I'll go ahead and tell them everything. So that way, they'll be on my side. But that was just never in the cards. So when he started talking to them without a lawyer there, he did unfortunately give them a little ammunition that they could use to hold him for that month. He mentioned the GoFundMe.
Video. For a family if they got all their stuff stolen. I should be risking nothing by admitting this.
Basically, the police told me, do not take this man to court, or else he will get arrested. And so I was like, just thinking, and we're like, let's do a GoFundMe, you know? And that was their solution.
But I was wrong.
We're going to book you back into the jail, okay? The creation of the GoFundMe, right? We're blasting this person all over saying, hey, he's...
So creating the GoFundMe was illegal?
When I asked the detective how creating a GoFundMe was probable cause to send me to jail, this was his response.
A lot of this stuff you may have to just get an attorney and fight it in the criminal side of court, right?
Okay, should I
Yep.
go back?
Yeah, go ahead and stand up. I got an officer right here that's gonna, he has cuffs for you.
Yeah, it's that stupid. So they were very interested in the GoFundMe angle. They found some way of making that
Ridiculous.
a big piece of this. So they interviewed the other people that they arrested here from Ben's team, and they were pretty focused on the GoFundMe stuff. So when Ben mentioned the GoFundMe, the officer probably had a huge fucking smile on his face and a wet spot in his trousers, because now somehow they're able to use that to justify holding Ben for a month in jail. It's fucking scary. That's frightening, man.
Completely blind to what I'm even being charged for. The worst part is that the police officers took away my bail, so now I have to wait a month in jail. However, I ended up getting extremely lucky. When a judge ended up reviewing this arrest, they thought the whole thing was so stupid and ended up releasing me on bail. So now, at least I'm a free man until my court case.
Ben got extremely lucky that a judge reviewed it and came to the rational conclusion that this is absurd. It's fucking preposterous.
The judge was probably, the fuck is this?
So he did get to get out and prepare for the upcoming lawsuit and his court date and all of that. But then he was informed that there is an arrest warrant out for him. So, according to Ben, and based on everything we've seen so far, it sounds like Bricks and Minifigs has once again cooked up more lies about Ben, about how he's this big threat. They even alluded to him being like a physical threat to the Bricks and Minifigs guys throughout this video. So he's this huge threat. He's out of control. He's on the loose. So now they have an arrest warrant out for him, which was actually signed off by a judge.
The only thing the police department could tell me is that I do have a warrant, but this time the judge approved it that I will have no bail. And I am now a physical threat to Josh, the person the police are protecting. So basically, at any moment now, I could be arrested without bail for some mystery crime. There really is only one thing that I can do now.
Well, I'm in Mexico now.
It's fucking lunacy, man. People that have active stalkers that are literally a threat to their physical safety don't get this.
Seriously, there are so many people who have stalkers that could never get this level of help, and yet for some reason
this kind of treatment from the police. like actual degenerate, deranged, delusional criminals that are actually threatening the safety of innocent people don't get treated like Ben has been by the authorities. So now he has an arrest warrant out, non-bailable. So in a panic, he goes to Mexico. I mean, I can't even blame him. I genuinely can't even blame him for that. It's a complete mystery crime. Again, what they're even pursuing against him. This is so absurd. Again, this all started over Legos, but this has really revealed that Bricks and Minifigs is just a completely rotten company filled with actual maniacs, like genuine menaces. These are psychopaths. They are trying to have been arrested, ruin his life, throw him in jail over nothing because he's trying to get an old man his extremely valuable Lego collection back that they don't even have the right to in the first place by their own admission, because according to them they don't do consignment, even though their contracts do say they do consignment. But regardless, if they don't do consignment, then they shouldn't have the inventory, thus they can't be selling the inventory because it would be stolen product. But they've already stolen the inventory and they haven't paid for it. They haven't given Brian and his father what they're owed, and they're not giving the Legos back. Even though he keeps requesting the Legos back, they refuse. And he has gone through everything lawfully. He has done everything as the law allows and permits and actually instructs him to do. He's followed every police order to a T, and still his life is in jeopardy here at the hands of Bricks and Minifigs and this corrupt police department and these officers. It's fucking infuriating. This is a huge deal. Now, I don't see what the fuck was wrong with the GoFundMe. I don't see why that was an issue, and I guess it's still a mystery because they haven't really said, but I'll put a link to all of that in the description here, obviously. It is
Yeah, I don't think you can hold someone in jail for defamation. I don't think that's how that works.
Oh, unreal how deep this goes. Hats off to Ben and his team for continuing to fight for justice here against a corporation of this size and this level of maliciousness. Holy shit. Anyway, that's really about it. So yeah.
Well, that was, what, May 30th? That was 2 days ago. There's still another update.
Yeah, even more unhinged craziness in this huge Lego scandal with Bricks and Minifigs has just unfolded. The Utah Police Department that was responsible for a lot of the inexplicably hostile...
Sorry, my computer's like bugging out. Let's bump it down.
And ridiculous behavior that we talked about yesterday with part 2 from Reckless Ben's investigation. That police department has now sent forth its softest gesture to try and explain their side of things and justify a lot of what's now been put into the public eye. And this guy is so soft-spoken, it is very difficult to even hear him in the first place. This guy must have just had his fucking tonsils removed. So, I'm just giving you fair warning. It's going to be hard to hear it, but what you can hear is all the bullshit that he's driveling out. And it's so interesting because there have been numerous opportunities now for Bricks and Minifigs and now the American Fork Police Department here to actually start debunking things if there is another side to this, if everyone is being misled by Ben's videos and it's like manipulated footage and out of context to make them all look bad. It's all like this big dubious plot. If that was the case, then why hasn't Bricks and Minifigs been able to issue a response that is trustworthy? Their last response had multiple lies in it that are provably incorrect, especially in regards to the consignment, and there's now been 2 instances of the Bricks and Minifigs top brass...
My frames! Hold on, everybody. I think it's coming back.
Going on live streams to try and defend and justify...
There's a pretty big delay. Feel free to refresh.
...their actions, and it's been a fumble. That has been a fucking floundering of the ages there. They haven't been able to explain their side or debunk any of the claims here or anything. And again, their official statement was littered with lies that are easily provably wrong. So, Bricks and Minifigs hasn't been able to defend themselves with any evidence or proof, and now the American Fork Police Department comes forward and also can't do that either, telling multiple lies that are immediately provably wrong. So all of the evidence, the actual evidence being provided, is solely from Ben. That is the only place where you can actually, with your own eyes and ears, see and hear what's been going on. From Bricks and Minifigs, and now the police department, the American Fork Police.
Oh, there they go again. Am I getting... is my internet getting attacked? Because I'm fighting against Bricks and Minifigs. My nose is warm again. Getting a cold.
Police department, their defense is, trust us. You just have to take our word for it. It's all hoopla. They're manipulating and misleading you. If that's the case, then prove your side. Show us the whole thing that apparently throws everything else out of whack from Ben's side. They haven't been able to. This little rat here from Bricks and Minifigs, the CEO, like I mentioned, has even come forward on stream to try and address all of it and garner sympathy and try and explain that they're in the right and Ben's in the wrong. It's all stalking and harassment over nothing. And he's been unable to prove any of his claims. He just keeps falling back on, I've been mean and weird and harassing about it, that kind of thing. If the evidence is on Bricks and Minifig's side and the police department side, why can't they provide it and show it? Why is their defense always just take us at our word when their word has meant literally nothing? Yeah, here, I haven't watched the police department's video on it yet. I'll pull it up.
My name is Cameron Paul, and I am the Chief of Police for the American Fork Police Department.
Okay. Brother, do you mind turning up the volume? Holy, it's actual ASMR. Wow. I cannot really hear him. Why is he whispering? Are his parents asleep in the next room? What
We
is
did
this?
watch this for Philly D.
I'd like to address
His parents is...
Should extend that same courtesy to the American Fork Police Department, which has already told 2 bold-faced lies in this statement already alone. Provable lies, by the way. I want to linger on that for just a minute. So the claim is that Josh declined it because he said that he had already been properly served these papers. So this was all just a content thing. Why does the officer just immediately take Josh at his word, and why can't we see that conversation if all of this is truly by the book? This doesn't debunk anything. This is still the exact same order of events that is presented in Ben's video. He declines the service. I decided to look into this, and from what I can tell, you can't even do that as just like a normal civilian. If an officer is serving you legal papers, and peppers probably, you can't just be like, I don't want it. Take it back. You still get served those papers. Like, you have to be. Like, if the officer is the one doing it, there isn't a way to just be like, I'm kind of full. My tummy.
My frames. I don't know why. Oh. Is my internet still good? Drop again. The hate crime at this. Oh, yeah, there we go.